Hello everyone, today we're going to look at a pen that I've actually done a video on before, but I just wanted to look at the pen again, and it's the Platinum Preppy. In my previous video I showed you how to eyedropper this pen, but I'm just going to look at the pen, give you a few little things I like about it, what I don't like about it, and go from there. So the Platinum Preppy, it's an inexpensive pen. It's not a cheap pen. It's inexpensive in that it doesn't cost a lot, and it's not cheap because it's exceptionally well made and it does what it's supposed to do. It always seems to write. So for under $10, you get a plastic fountain pen. It comes in three sizes. This one here is the .03, which is fine. There's a 02 and there's a 05. The 02 being extra fine, the 05 being medium. You get a plastic pen. It says on the side, it tells you the size. There's an F for fine. Platinum. Platinum's a Japanese company. And it says Preppy, which is the name of the pen. Fountain pen made in Japan. And that's just sort of printed on the side there. And what you feel is a plastic pen. It's around 10 grams in weight. It is 5.5 inches capped, and it's a pull cap, and posted it's 6 inches. So, all right, okay. I'm just going to move something that I have here. I forgot I'd put that there. So when you buy the pen, it comes with a cartridge, a Platinum proprietary cartridge. You can also get a Platinum proprietary converter for this pen, so it works with converter. But one of the great features of the Platinum Preppy is it's an entirely plastic body. There's no holes in it, and it is really well made to be eyedroppered. I have actually, this is my other Platinum Preppy, and I eyedroppered this pen. As you can see, the barrel is full of a shimmering ink. And actually, that's actually what I'm going to do with this one too. I'm not going to show you how to do it, but I'll link to the video where I eyedropper this pen. I guess I like shimmering inks, but I do kind of worry, not so much that they will clog up the pen, but you know, sometimes the little particles will stay in the feed, and when you put a different ink in it, you'll get these little shimmering particles. And so I like to have a pen set aside specifically to use for my shimmering inks. What I'm going to put in this pen here is Ferris Wheel Press Roaring Patina Black. Now, I use the Preppy for these types of inks for one interesting reason. I can leave the pen sitting for weeks and weeks and weeks, and it seems, so far, every time I pick it up, even with all kinds of little metallic particles in the feed, as you can see here, you can see them in there, it always writes. The pen does not dry out, and we're going to talk about why, right? It doesn't dry out. I've left it sitting for quite a while. It's actually been probably a month since I used this pen, and it works. Now, usually because there's particles in there, and it's sort of stored on its side, I do recommend that you roll the pen a bit and shake it up just to get everything moving. The particles distributed it through the ink. Now, if you look at the cap, you'll see this little plastic cone right here, in here. And that little cone creates a snap-in seal. I'm not too sure of the actual patented name for it, but there's little indents in the cap. You can just see them there, and that grips the section. So when you put it in, when you push, there's this nice little snap sound. And that is the seal of this interior cap locking in place, I think. Also the cap, but it really does prevent the nib from drying out. When I say this is an inexpensive pen and not a cheap pen, I really do mean it. It's not cheaply made. There's a little spring here at the top. That's all part of the seal. Everything is just designed to work, you know. There's so many little features. You can see that when you push the cap, you can see the little spring there as it seals itself in. It's just all very carefully thought out, you know. It works so well right there. And as I say, for under $10, you get a pen that writes out of the box. It works perfectly. It's a smooth writer. You know, there's a little bit of feedback. You can feel it's not, you know, it's not a scratchy nib. Very nice writer. There's just nothing, you know, that doesn't work. I like it. Posts, has all those little ticks, and it's also a fun pen. You know, you can, like I say, you can take this pen. It works. It's a fun pen. You can tinker with the pen. You can experiment. You can get the 3 different nib sizes, of course. The feed just comes straight out, and as you can see, that's it's sort of, this all comes apart. Everything can be cleaned quite easily. You just put that back in, and there. Now, I am going to show you the converter, the cartridge. You know, that just comes there. You push that in, and then you just buy new cartridges, or you can put a converter in it. But I'm not going to do that. What I am going to do is eyedropper this pen, of course, and I'm not going to show you how, but I'll just show you what you need. So one of the things you'll need is an O-ring, and you'll need some silicone grease. There's another O-ring right there. Silicone grease. Now, TWSBI has this little bottle here of a silicone grease lubricant, really, is what it is. But it's quite a bit different than the one I'm going to use to seal the threads. I picked this up, I ordered this, I should say, online. I got this particular one from Anderson Pens, but you can find these at different pen dealer online shops, or even probably at your local stationery shop that sells fountain pens and fountain pen supplies. The O-ring will go up here on the threads, and then the silicone grease I will put on the threads all the way around, and that just seals up the pen, protects you from leaks. And then when you seal it all up, the barrel will be full of ink, and it'll work perfectly. Hopefully. I shouldn't say perfectly. Who knows what happens. But yeah, it's one of my favorite little pens. If you know somebody who's thinking about getting into fountain pens and they want to try them out, this is one of the pens I would recommend. It's inexpensive. It's also one of those pens that you can sort of infect other people with the fountain pen hobby. So if you buy a few of these and you keep them in a bag and somebody comments on, you know, your fancier pen, you can just say, well, here, try this, see how you like it. And the next thing you know, another person's into the fountain pen hobby, out there spending all their money on fountain pens and talking to others, and it's slowly the virus spreads. That's how it works, right? But this is the perfect penabling pen in that aspect. And as you get more experienced, they can learn how to eyedropper them and put fun inks in them and have a great time. And they'll have a tool that works every time you pull it out of the bag. Anyway, I hope you're having a great day. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new around here, I invite you to subscribe to the channel. I'm always sort of looking at pens and stationery. And let me know in the comments if you know of another pen that you would also penable people with. What would you give somebody who might comment on your more expensive pen? Do you actually do that? Do you carry cheap pens around to give away? let me know in the comments. And I hope you have a great day. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.